Earlier this year, we gave you a hands-on impression of Borderlands 2, but we love you so much, we've got another. So how do you improve a sequel to an already impressive video game? Obviously, there's always room for improvement, but Gearbox Software must have had a difficult task with Borderlands. Will Borderlands 2 live up to the high expectations set by the original? Welcome yet again to the wonderful and deadly world of Pandora. It's a dangerous world out there, but Sanctuary provides a safe haven. This bustling town is used as the hub for players to get missions and interact with other characters. The town's layout is simple enough to ensure that players don't get frustrated when they have to make their way to other locations. Players encountered a lot of colorful characters in the first Borderlands video game. Borderlands 2 continues this tradition by introducing even more unique characters. One particular new character that comes to mind is the charismatic Tiny Tina. This 13-year-old might act like a typical teenager, but her skills with destructive tools are impressive. It's common knowledge, but it's nice to see old characters make a cameo. Lilith is found chatting to the character that kickstarts the chain of events for this demo. The main characters are working together to try and stop evil mastermind Handsome Jack, the leader of the Hyperion Corporation, from awakening a scary warrior. The mission played consists of Tiny Tina asking the player character for help with obtaining certain items. Fetch requests are often frowned upon, but it's not every day that the items being retrieved include the likes of crumpets. What sets it apart from the typical mind-numbing fetch guests is how items are obtained. One part of the mission requires the player to lure the felon responsible for the murder of Tina's parents back to her cave hideout. It all culminates in a twisted version of Alice in Wonderland's iconic tea party, where Tina proceeds to electrocute the felon. It's fascinating to think that just one mission where the player is merely finding items could end up being so entertaining. This mission takes place in the land of Tundra Express. This area is able to accommodate different sceneries, such as a barren desert or snow-covered mountains. What's so impressive about it is how it allows the player to wander around without constantly placing restrictions. Funny enough, one of the goals in Borderlands 2 is that if a player can see it, then they can explore it. This is true to a certain extent, given the fact that it'll take a while to even just explore a fraction of the Tundra Express area. The diverse scenery means that there is plenty to look at in Tundra Express. The day and night cycle does wonders for ensuring that each trip to Tundra Express feels totally different. And it certainly doesn't hurt that it has some stylish visuals too. The waypoint system has been revamped so that it's now much easier to find an objective's location. There's plenty of guns in the original, but this sequel manages to pack a whole lot more of them. What's so special about the new guns is the fact that each of them feels completely different. It also helps that guns have random names, such as the expansive spin gun. Players can also continue to find many other items to loot from chests and other places. Borderlands 2 has a surprisingly large number of different enemies. These range from smaller insect-like creatures to menacing humanoid guerrilla fighters like the badass Marauder. At one point towards the end of Tiny Tina's mission, an angry midget holding onto another enemy's shield popped up. Some enemies are quite challenging, and that's where the revamped skills section comes in handy. Characters will earn badass tokens that make it possible to earn new skills. There's no limit to the badass ranking systems, and the various player characters share the tokens earned. Each character has a different skill tree, and players are free to unlock skills from all of them. Yet again, the development team continues to pleasantly surprise with names for skills like Sexual Tyrannosaurus. What's most important is that it's easy to see the skills unlocked improve the way the character is used. Our last preview focused on the Gunzerker and Siren classes. This time around, we managed to get some playtime with the Assassin and Commando. The Commando character, Axton, has one of the best active skills. Axton's skill consists of a saber turret that is protected by a shield. He is proficient in long-range weapons, but can also wield other weapons. This is quite a versatile character that is ideal for patient players. The turret has various upgrades that can turn it into a real killing machine. The Assassin, Zero, is a bit of a tricky character to use. His Deception active skill makes him invisible, so he can then potentially deal heavy damage to enemies by taking advantage of critical weak points or even assassinating them with a physical melee attack. He also has a decoy that will distract enemies while the skill is active. The problem is, it's quite easy to get spotted by enemies. This is truly a character that only skilled players can make good use of. This short trip back to Pandora clearly shows that the team has worked hard to improve various areas of the first Borderlands. It's only a glimpse at what it has to offer, but Borderlands 2 is already turning into a fantastic sequel that fans of the original won't want to miss out on this September.
Could I have a refund, please? This gun doesn't seem to work.
I don't know. Looks like it works to me.